The meeting of the Atlantic County Board of Commissioners is called to order. In compliance with the Open Public Meeting Act of the State of New Jersey, adequate notice of this meeting of the Atlantic County Board of Commissioners was provided in the following manner. Published in the Press of Atlantic City, mailed to the Hamilton Gazette, and has been posted on the bulletin boards in the county office building in Atlantic City, the Stillwater building in Northfield, and the county office clerks in Mays Landing. Opening prayer.
Dear Lord, I pray that you guide us always. Satisfy the needs that need to be met during this meeting and strengthen us to make wise decisions for the betterment of our Atlantic County community. Amen.
Amen. All stand for the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Madam Clerk, we have a roll call.
Chairwoman Commissioner Bertino is attending virtually, and Commissioner Corsi may be attending virtually. Ballas?
I am here.
Bertino?
Here.
Burns?
Here.
Corsi? Days?
Here.
Gatto?
Here.
Parker?
Present.
Risley?
Here.
Kern?
Here. The Commissioners have had an opportunity to review the minutes from September 3rd, 2024. I'll entertain a motion to adopt the September 3rd, 2024 minutes as presented.
Moved.
Moved by Commissioner Burns, second by Commissioner Gatto. Call the roll.
Ballas?
Yes.
Bertino?
Abstain.
Burns?
Yes.
Corsi? Days?
Yes.
Gatto?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Risley?
Yes.
Kern?
Yes. Anyone attending in person who would like to speak regarding an agenda item or a public comment, please come to the podium, speak into the microphone, state your name and the town you reside. You will be provided up to 3 minutes to speak. If you're attending virtually and would like to speak, please raise your hand during the agenda item or at the public comment at the end. I'll call upon your name and a request to unmute will be sent. Please state your name and the town you reside. You will also be provided up to 3 minutes to speak. Okay, at this time, I will entertain a motion to move Resolution 506 to the top of the agenda. So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Gatto, seconded by Commissioner Parker. Any commissioner comments?
Yeah, Madam Chair, if I may, I'm just trying to see, I don't know if Shannon was on yet. She is?
Yes, I just
Okay, perfect. I wanted to.
I'm sorry, she is not.
Oh, she's not, okay. Well, she may be joining us, but we have a young lady, Shannon Hardy, who brought forward a request and resolution for us to recognize Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, which is the month of September. Shannon is currently going through some other health difficulties, but she's a 30-year childhood cancer survivor. And I was lucky enough, Shannon was my neighbor when we were young. She lived behind us. And we had to watch everything that she went through as a young child, battling childhood cancer. But she came out of it extremely strong and has been a pretty formidable young woman since that time. And she continues to just plow through other challenges that come her way. So she asked that we do a resolution to recognize the month. And she also asked if we could display a flag that commemorates Childhood Cancer Awareness Month at the county building in Mays Landing. She's a Mays Landing resident. Jerry has the flag. And we've gotten confirmation from legal counsel that we can place it under the American flag and have it fly for the rest of the month as long as the resolution passes, which hopefully won't
We
be
have
a
to bring it
problem.
to the floor first.
Oh, I thought we did a motion in a second.
We didn't do a motion in a second.
You got a motion?
We have to put, well, we did motions, then we brought the comments, and then comments from the public, and then a roll call.
Right,
Just
yeah,
roll call.
I'm making commissioner comments right now, right? Yeah, so the only thing I would like to do, if we can, I think, June, you made the motion on it, right? Did you make the motion? You made the motion? Yes. I'm gonna ask you to amend it, if you wouldn't mind. I'd like to add one whereas, and I didn't want to do this in the version that Shannon saw as we were passing it back and forth, but I would like to just add one more whereas in there that would recognize Shannon as a 30-year cancer survivor and recognize her advocacy, her bravery, and her perseverance through the last 30 years as a survivor. So
I move to amend the resolution
thank you.
to add Shannon as a 30-year survivor of childhood cancer.
Thank you, and I'll second that amendment. Just also wanted to just highlight something that Shannon was involved with, and I'm saying this because again, some issues that she's having prevents her from really being able to speak publicly at this time. But about 5 years ago, she started writing a children's book that would kind of act as a tool for counselors and teachers as children try to navigate this, either as somebody going through it, as a fellow student in the classroom, or as maybe a teammate or a teacher. So she started writing this book. It's taking her a long time because of, again, some health issues that she's going through, but she recently was able to announce a partnership that she's embarking on with Rowan University and a student-run program that they have called Singularity Press. So they will basically be helping her with illustrating the book and subsequently being able to publish it and distribute it. So pretty, again, remarkable things coming from somebody who is dealing with so much. And we have probably a number of these stories in Atlantic County. Another special one that comes to mind is Christian Klopp, also from Mays Landing, if you guys can remember. He passed away in 2012 after a pretty formidable battle. His father was a police officer in Hamilton Township. And if anybody knew Christian, he taught you so much in 9 short years of life, and through his perseverance. And we now have a handicap park in Hamilton Township, handicap accessible park, dedicated to Christian's memory and kind of keeping that spirit alive. So I just highlight these things. These things are happening to our families here, and just bringing that awareness of childhood cancer, knowing that everybody's going through something out there, right? It might not be this, but it could be something else. And if we could just all have that empathy, take away, pieces from other people's struggle and be there to support people through their own struggles. I just think it's something to always kind of remind ourselves, right? So with that, I'll shut up about the resolution. Thank you.
That's very, very
Very
nice.
nice.
Thank you for bringing that up, Ulrike. I think we still need a roll call, Madam Clerk. I'll bring it into
We're still making comments?
Yeah.
Well, we have comments after we read it too, right? Anyone other comments now?
Well, we're in commissioner comments, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
We're bringing it to the floor. Okay. Any other commissioner comments?
Madam Chair. Yeah, so, it's pretty interesting that this is coming up today. I mean, just on the news the other day, I was watching a rally that was going on in Pennsylvania. Some of you may have saw it. And, one of the points that they were stressing was only 6% of all cancer research funding goes towards childhood cancer, which is amazing. Only 6% of all the funding for research goes to childhood cancer. And of course, their whole rally was to, try and, get to the legislature to increase that funding, a bigger percentage going towards childhood cancer. I mean,
Any idea where the majority of that is? I mean, that is so small.
there's so many different types of cancer.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
No, I guess you showed some
and
other-
every,
okay.
every cancer,
Yeah.
for any family member that gets it is heart wrenching. But,
Yeah.
to see it right out there in front of your face, that only 6%, and these are infants, these are young children that, have a whole life ahead of them, but they really don't. Because, maybe if there was more research and more preventive medicines, maybe they would have a brighter outlook. And there are several that do survive, but, the ones that survive are, very few compared to the ones that don't. So, maybe someday we look into, passing a resolution to ask the federal government and state government to, increase that funding percentage, research movement. We'll have to do some research on it.
Yeah, I think it would be a great idea. It is. Any other commissioner comments?
So you've got a motion to amend, which you got to vote on. You vote to amend the motion, or I'm sorry, to amend the resolution, and then you vote to approve the resolution again. It's redundant, but that's the way it's supposed to go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
You already voted to amend it.
You made a motion, but you didn't vote to amend it.
Yeah, we motioned and we seconded to put it on the floor, but we didn't roll call to put it on the floor. So
Gotcha.
what are we doing now? We're voting on the amendment?
Yeah, you're going to vote to amend it as it was stated by Commissioner Byrne, and then you will vote to adopt it. So the vote on the amended resolution.
Okay, gotcha. Okay. Motion to amend.
We did that.
And then
So take a roll call.
roll call on that motion.
Ballas?
Yes.
Bertino?
Yes.
Burns?
Yes.
Coursey? Days?
Yes.
Gatto?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Risley?
Yes.
Kern?
Yes, motion carries. So now we have to go back to the adoption.
Okay.
So I'll have a motion to adopt.
So moved.
Second.
Do we have commissioner comments on that? I think we all had commissioner comments. Okay, any comments from the public? And we'll have a roll call.
Ballas?
Yes.
Bertino?
Yes.
Burns?
Yes.
Coursey? Days?
Yes.
Gatto?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Risley?
Yes.
Kern?
Yes, motion carries.
Thank you. And Madam Chair, I did get confirmation that Shannon is on. She is hearing us. So Shannon, you did pass the resolution. And again, we just congratulate you on the accomplishment of having your book coming to life, hopefully sooner than later. And we will have the flag being flown in front of the county building on the Main Street of Mays Landing, hopefully by the end of the week. So I know she's having a tough time speaking, but we're thinking of you, Shannon, and we're here for you. Thank you, Madam Chair. I don't think she does. She did say she'll be in touch with Commissioner Ballas. She'd like to talk to him about some of the research that you just mentioned, so.
Okay.
Thank you guys for moving that up front.
Okay, we now have Atlantic County Utilities Authority update by Matthew Tompo, President. And Matt, I just want to say something before you start, if you don't mind.
Sure.
It's just clearing up some misleading information that has been out there recently. This commissioner board has never been responsible for the day-to-day operations at the ACUA, right?
Correct.
Thank you. The ACUA has a board of directors that meets monthly. I believe it's every third Wednesday.
Correct.
And that's open to the public.
That is, yes.
Okay, so thank you for that. However, as we are doing everything and as we're doing this today, we're trying to assist the public in getting answers and stay on top of issues such as this, and that's effective. And we thank you for that, Matt, because you're here. I don't know how many times this year you've been here, numerous times. But not only that, you send us emails, giving us updates on what you're doing, not only about this, but our constituents really do want to know about the snow. I do know that the county is authorizing $4.5 million to capping. I believe I saw in the press today in the legals, was that, permitting, and that it has to be done, actually started before the end of the year. And, I would think that this would make a major impact on the odor situation, but I want to hear from you if in fact that is the case, because this is an issue. It's important to this board. We want to stay on top of it, and we would like to hear from you on that
Yep.
issue.
So I have a short presentation, but before I do that, I always like to try to hand out some goodies to the board. One is just the paper copy of what we're going to present today. It's 6 or 7 slides. It's not going to be super long. And then there's also the stuff that I emailed out about 2 weeks ago, just frequently asked questions with some data and some fact sheets. Again, in a day of age where data is so readily available, accurate data is not as available. So everybody has a platform. If you're on social media and you're posting whatever you want on there, it becomes a platform. So just trying to make sure that everybody has the information. And my goal, from a year and a half ago presenting here, is as much transparency and as much communication information that I can provide to this board and to the residents in Atlantic County as well.
Thank you.
So there's some
Just pass them around. Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so hopefully, once I get through this presentation, Cheryl McKern, those answers will be kind of met for you.
Okay,
But-
and, yeah, it's serious, and we get it all the time, and I know you're well aware of that.
Sure, and what I want to, this isn't a secret in this room. We have a lot of politicians, but this is political season. So, and I feel like it's on steroids right now because we are in this presidential election, which adds another layer of just intense, whether it's infighting, whether it's, false information, whatever it may be. But one thing I want to make very, very clear is that I know that there's been chatter throughout the county, whether it's on the radio from one side of the aisle versus the other, or just people on social media starting to pop because they have nothing better to do. Nothing has changed since probably about mid-April when it comes to odor complaints. And I confirm this because I was starting to kind of get a little paranoid. I'm going, wait a second, there's people on the radio talking about it who have never been to our site. There's comments on Facebook, and again, it tends to be the people that don't have the information have the most amount to say. So I reached out to the county health department, who usually gets the call from the DEP if there is an odor complaint, and said, am I misrepresenting this? Has there been an uptick? Has there been a change? We have seen an exponential decrease in odor concerns, complaints since I last presented here in February. Nothing has changed since probably about mid-April, other than it's election season, right? So I'm going to just, again, preface it with that. So where I'd like to kind of start off is that the next slide, which is really just where we left off in February. So I mentioned bookmarking, kind of an event that we had with an increase in gas production that wasn't unique to the ACUA or Atlantic County. It was something that was seen across all 13 landfills in the state. We had a high rate of rain. We had a lot of temperature and moisture issues, and that created a exponential production of landfill gas. And as you're managing a landfill, you're expecting a certain amount, and then it starts to kind of change if the weather patterns change. And we all know, we can relate to the amount of rain that we got when it came to December, January, and February. So that was really a bookend, starting in probably the end of October, early November, and really kind of capped off in March, leading into a little bit of April. But a lot of this work that we kind of talked about February 20th when I was in front of this board is here and some of the stuff that we've done. So, back in February, we were talking about gas wells, and everybody says, well, you guys are always saying you're putting gas wells in. Yes, you want to hear us always putting gas wells in. That is how landfills operate. That is the best management practice. That's your best defense against gas. With gas comes potential odors. So in February, at that point, we installed 19 wells. Everybody thinks when we install these wells that, boom, magic, all of a sudden turn the wells on. It doesn't work that way. As you're digging in the trash and doing some improvements, you're excavating trash. So we handle the smelly stuff for the county. So your wastewater and your solid waste that everybody put their trash out this week, where did it go? Came to us. So we manage that smelliness, if you will, and we try to make sure that you don't have to think twice about it after it goes to the end of your driveway and disappears magically. So back in February, we did the well expansion, which was something we started planning the June prior. February, we installed almost a mile worth of 18-inch header, which is a giant 18-inch pipe that pulls the vacuum on these gas wells. We have over 110 gas wells in our entire site, 102 acres, over 100 feet deep. April, we were really working on kind of managing what we experienced when it came to heavy rainfall. We were getting 1 to 2 inches of rain on a weekly basis, week after week after week. Anybody that's in construction knows on the side of a turnpike or driven down the road, wherever it may be, when you get a lot of rain, you get washouts, you get dirt, you get all sorts of runoff and challenges. So we spent most of April and into May really trying to manage those side slopes, getting material back on, and then starting to kind of establish vegetation to kind of help us get ready. Come June, we had more utility lines going in, so we announced that our renewable natural gas project was coming online. It's going to be coming online August of 2025. That, broke ground in October, so that work kind of continues, and demolition for that was ongoing throughout August. And that kind of brings us to today. So again, these are the plans that we kind of laid out. Most of them, actually all of them got checked off except for the ones that were planned for at this point. So next slide, please. So one of the things that I presented in February is one of the regulatory things that we are compliant to do, which is a quarterly surface emissions monitoring. It's a third-party consultant that comes out and measures readings for methane. Anything over 500 parts per billion is out of compliance. We have to measure this at over 640 spots. 179 of those are actually penetrations in the landfill. So you're actually sticking a meter inside a hole in the landfill. Q1 of February, again, we were managing that excess gas. We had gotten 2 points out of almost 700 points. 2 points were over. We have 10 days, we respond to it. Usually it's a boot fitting or something very, very minor, but 2 is, again, not an issue. Looking at July, 6 points. 6 points out of almost 700 points. Again, this was kind of telling us, okay, we are in a very good spot right now when it comes to collection efficiency. And then we just had our most recent third quarter, which is a draft. Right now we're looking at 6 points. And again, within the hours of this report coming out, our crews go out, they identify the 6 areas, and again, they're usually either just kind of zipping up a clamp or a certain material that may have kind of washed away a little bit. So this is kind of the state of where we're at right now. Again, surface emission monitoring, this is done and regulated by the DEP and EPA, required on a quarterly basis by a third-party engineer. Nothing home cooked as people may conspire about, but again, third-party engineer does this. We are in very good shape. The next slide is one that we brought up last year. So we keep hearing HOA is out of compliance, HOA is doing all these things that's causing harm to the environment. Please save the landfill stuff to landfill experts. Here is, this red line is our compliance. We are required to stay within 30 parts per billion at our fence line every single day. This is a measure that was put in place in 2015, almost 10 years. We had one exceedance during that time frame where we had a lot of excess gas being produced and we were trying to capture it. What happens when there's exceedance? The bubble doesn't get deployed. We don't turn off the valve or stop doing things. You measure it again the next day. If it's over 30, you measure it the next day. If it's 3 days in a row, you go out to the neighborhood and you measure it there. If it's over 30 parts per billion there, then you start enacting your gas control measures. We're already doing those things. We only had one exceedance since January 1st. This is where our levels are at when it comes to our fence line requirement. There's no question on where to take the test. It's an approved odor management plan by the NJDEP. And again, when it comes to compliance, no issues. The challenge with this, and I try to be as clear with this as possible to this board, to the Absecon residents at town hall meetings, to SWAC meetings, is the human nose can smell hydrogen sulfide at 0.5 parts per billion. So because you smell something, or could smell something, doesn't mean we're out of compliance. 0.05 all the way up to 30 is a big range. So at 20, you're gonna smell something. And again, we are dealing with a landfill. Everyone's trash, 102 acres, over 100 feet deep, over 30 years old. It's a lot of trash. But again, from a compliance perspective, we are in great shape. This is that period again where we had some excess gas and you can see some higher numbers, and then we're kind of plateauing out. The next slide is just really our build out. So this isn't like hey, today we're gonna decide to put wells in here, today we're gonna decide to put pipes in here. This is a full build out, and we shared this back in January, and it's phased out. We are in the, I'm colorblind, so apologize. I know this is the blue area. So last spring, late spring, we were doing all this header work here, and now we're bringing it back around, which is gonna be our furthest spot from where our vacuum system is. And what that's gonna allow us to do is, one, draw more vacuum on the landfill, but also prepare. So this is where we're starting to prepare for future gas. The trash we put in today does not create hydrogen sulfide and landfill gas for another 12 to 18 months. It takes time for the air to be eliminated from the process, becomes an anaerobic process, and that's when the landfill gas starts to be produced. So we're preparing for 12 to 18 months from now to get this gas into our flare system, or at that time will be our RNG project. So this is our build out, and again, we are probably closer to our third, fourth phase on that, but again, it looks like spaghetti because that's the coverage that we have. You're looking at over 110 wells, plus or minus 5, I would say. The next slide, I'm almost at the end. The next slide is the work we're doing right now. So again, we're not just waiting for something to happen. We're not gonna not expect it to be raining this winter. It's gonna get cold, it's gonna rain, we're gonna have inversion events. So how do we prepare? So for the last several months, we've been preparing on the side slopes, getting everything kind of stabilized, stormwater channels, getting basins scarified so they drain properly. And this is probably one of the biggest significant improvements to our system that we have done ever. We've invested over $15 million in gas collection, but have not done this in one single event. So what's happening right now over the last week or two we started is 30 plus landfill wells. We'll be re-drilling and adding new wells into our full build out. We'll be doing two dewatering pumps, which helps us with leachate or rainwater as it touches trash, not clog the pipes up. So again, expecting it to rain this winter, expecting it to rain this fall, expecting it to snow. We're gonna be prepared for it. Almost half a mile of, again, additional 18-inch header that's gonna go all the way to that back side of our landfill. That's our big artery. Think of it as a giant artery that's pumping, instead of blood, it's pulling gas. Miles and miles of pipeline of smaller diameter that's connecting to these wells, and then about 12,000 linear feet of smaller stuff for future build out in another year from now. Because now what we can do is start putting wells that are pneumatic that require a vacuum and an air system to pull water out of the vertical wells that I kind of explained back in February what they do, but pull the water out of them so they don't get watered in. This work is all being done right now. There's not a major odor issue right now. It's all, it's smoke and mirrors, it's a discussion, it's something for people to talk about in the county, but by all counts, we are in good shape. Is it zero? It's never been zero. The expectation should never be zero. It's pulled in to a very small amount. Should it be a couple times a month or a year? Maybe. What's the expectation? Every day? Absolutely not. But we are still dealing with a product of everybody in this room that smells. You go to our wastewater treatment plant, you're gonna hold your nose when you first get there, right? We're not gonna stop flushing the toilets. We're not gonna stop taking showers, right? There's a health impact to that. So there's a need from society for all of these services. Unfortunately, there's a byproduct of that. But again, when it comes to the collection, the regulation, and continuing to push the envelope on making sure our site is as prepared as possible, you're not gonna find another site that does this. Almost there. All right, so Chairwoman Curran had brought up our landfill capping. So it was advertised today. As we build this landfill gas collection system out and we bring our trash up to our final grade, which we did, we're now able to cap it. 16 acres along the easterly portion of our landfill is being bid. Bids open today. That is, again, not to be said. It would not have been done without the support of Atlantic County. County Executive Denny Levinson, the Commission Board, County Administration. This project is a project that's scheduled as part of a closure plan. It has a certain amount of funding that has to go towards it for each ton that comes in, and at the end of that life, that's when you can do it. We're doing this 5 years in advance. This will be the last little piece to this back side that'll really kind of, again, further help us with stormwater and leachate generation, potential off-site emissions. This is really going to be helpful. And this, again, would not have been helpful without the county executive's assistant and also the support of Atlantic County in general. Again, advertisement was in the paper today. We have a bid opening scheduled for October 31st, and then we'll start before the probably the first quarter of 2025. So it has to be awarded before the end of the year for the ARPA funds. So That's where this funding is coming from. And then the last slide is just an update on our RNG project. Again, we're gonna be the first landfill in New Jersey to have an RNG project online, renewable natural gas. We're using that gas now to produce most of the methane. Methane is not odor, doesn't have no odor in it. It's almost 50% of the landfill gas makeup, 35% is CO2, another 2%, 3% is oxygen. So about 90-some% of that landfill gas makeup is completely odorless. But methane is the one that has value to it. That's what we use to cook and heat our houses with. So first landfill in New Jersey that'll be taking that landfill gas, cleaning it up, putting it in the pipeline, and distributing it throughout the county and the state. That'll be a 95% reduction to our on-site emissions. So once we collect all that gas, right now it's being flared, so it converts from methane to CO2, which is less harmful when it comes to greenhouse gas impact. That flare will pretty much be turned off, and all those emissions will be eliminated. That's where the 95% reduction in emissions. Again, first one in the state. You're not gonna find another landfill that is more progressive, that's more on top of things in the entire state. That's it, thank you.
So I'm gonna ask again, we're gonna go back to like the 4.5 million. So I don't know if you specifically answered that question with the odor. Is that something with the capping? I don't know, I mean, I hear a lot what you say, I don't exactly understand some of it. But that's why you do what you do, and we try to do what we do. Is that going to do something with that smell and odor?
So, yeah, will it contribute to aiding in it? Absolutely. Everybody thinks that if you just close and cap the landfill, the odor goes away. It's a misconception. It seems simple, right? Everybody wants a simple solution to trash, and I've said that before. Trash is not that simple. It's not just haul it, dump it in a hole, and be done with it. You need the gas collection system. So all that infrastructure that we're putting in there, if that was not there and we capped it, we'd have a giant moon bounce on there that would be really a ticking time bomb, because it'd be filling up with gas. The gas collection is really the root cause or the root solution to eliminating any off-site odors. That's really what it is. And then what the cap does, it helps us make it more efficient. So, not to get too technical, but when you're on a side slope and you're trying to drill wells into that, you can't crank those wells up too much because you'll pull oxygen into the landfill. If you pull oxygen into the landfill, you create a landfill fire. So having a cap on it helps us draw better and be more efficient with it. So is it a silver bullet? No. It's not there's no such thing as silver bullets in this. I wish there were. World would be a better place if there was silver bullets for things. But unfortunately, it's not it. So the combination of all of these improvements, and then not to say cap it off, but cap it off with a permanent cap is kind of like the full profile of abating that.
So our time frame with this,
Mhm.
I know you have a strict time frame with it because of the types of funding that you're getting, just federal funding that you're getting for this, and there is a specific time frame for it.
So the strict time frame is really just awarding before the end of the year. The construction can lag after that, but the construction really, it's a matter of awarding this year and then having the weather cooperate for them to start earthwork. You can't do earthwork while it's snowing or there's heavy rain, but it's a 6-month time frame on the construction. So I would expect that the whole thing would be completely done by this time last year, or this time next year. By probably mid-July, things will be pretty much wrapped up, and then be balancing, trying to get things seeded in July and kind of wait until the fall for that.
We want to thank Jerry and the administration to help moving some of those funds around to make them available now.
Yes, yeah.
To get this moving, so we appreciate that. But, like we've said before, we're extremely serious about this. We hear about it. We are very concerned about the quality of life of our constituents, especially they're out there. We hear it all the time. Another question we have been hearing was expansion. And some people are saying they're planning an expansion. Is there something out there that has an expansion? Is there a plan in place at this time for expansion?
So right now, people get confused with our MSC wall construction as an expansion. So our MSC wall is under construction. It's been approved since 2006. We've had expansions, half a dozen over the last 25 years. Right now, we're currently permitted to fill until July of 2029. So it's a little bit of a moving target when it comes to the months, but we have about 5 years left. That's how we're currently permitted. Are we looking at every option possible? 100%. Is there an expansion that we have that we're submitting right now? No, there is not. There are plans for everything from waste conversion to looking at optimizing our landfill to diverting certain waste we're looking at everything. Again, we can't just kind of stay on one track. We have to look at all options. Burlington County, for example, their permitted capacity was August of 2025. Nobody's freaking out about that. You haven't heard that, right? Except for me. But what they did was they worked through an expansion. They had space available, but they worked through, again, keeping the solid waste management system in Burlington County. If we hadn't gone through that same process and trying to optimize and figure out how to extend the life of it, our landfill would have closed in 2016. So at a new point, I wouldn't even be here, you know? So this is what the county needs, is a solid waste disposal site. When it comes to ratepayers, this is the best solution, the ACUA. Again, everybody wants to look at it from the surface, but the economic impact that the ACUA has on every single municipality is incredible. And people don't realize what those services are, or what that funding looks like, or what those grants look like, until it's gone, or the liability. So we all sit here, or you all sit there as commissioners. If the ACUA goes away, the liability falls back on the ratepayers, taxpayers of Atlantic County, which falls on county administration. So 2 landfills that we've held as far as the liability for would fall back on Atlantic County. So that's, again, something very important that we have to think about, is
Sure.
that liability that we hold for the county as well.
Right, we're concerned about every aspect and anything that affects our constituents, you know,
Yep.
throughout. Any other commissioners, do you have anything you'd like to ask Matt at this time or have clarified? Matt, thank you again, and again, you stay on top of it, you're concerned about the quality of life, anything you have. I know you're constantly looking at new technology, that everything's changing, but whatever we can do to speed this up and get them happy out in our, you know, communities would be wonderful. But, you know, again, I just wanted to make sure that the information is out there, people aren't being misled, that, you know, about who's overseeing the ACUA as well.
Thank you. And I just want to also thank, you know, the commission board, because I've been able to interact with just about everybody on this board, you know, when it comes to updates. Commissioner Bertino has been in constant contact with me. I talked to Commissioner Gatto yesterday. I talked to, you know, Commissioner Woman Kern, Mr. Risley. I mean, everybody really has days. I was talking to you last year when we were going through different constituents. So I really appreciate that communication, and you guys are on top of it. You guys are inquiring when it comes to questions. So, you know, this idea that nobody's doing anything, again, is just this false idea that's a good soundbite, you know, because I've had interactions with every person on this board asking questions, you know, wanting to know. Yeah, we don't have a lot of oversight in certain aspects, but we do have a right to know. You do have a right to investigate. You do have a right to ask your questions and bring me here. You know, so that's the difference between a public agency that's a sister to the county, is that we're here. You know, we are beholden to you, whether it's formal or not. And you guys have certainly done your due diligence and have reached out and gotten information. That's why I kind of try to continue to feed it to you, because you guys are, you know, taking it and using it in a constructive way. So
Thank you, Matt, we
So-
appreciate that. I am gonna ask, because sometimes it's hard when somebody's online, is our commissioner still on? Is Commissioner Bertino still on? Commissioner Bertino?
Yes, I am still on. As Matt alluded to, he hears from me quite often, and I understand a little about what he has going on there. But I do appreciate him filling in the public. He understands my concerns to make sure information, DHUA gets out to the public directly. He doesn't have to come and tell us that. And I've asked him to be more proactive about that, and he knows the conversation we had. It's getting the information correct out to the people so they understand the entire process. But it's also to challenge us to do a better job. So he knows what we're looking for as county commissioners. And also to the representatives, to the board members over there, the responsibility they have to the public to answer their questions as well.
Thank you, Commissioner. Matt, thank you. Oh,
and just
Madam Chair, I just have one question, maybe more than one. So right alongside of ACUA down on Westcott Road. You know, they tore all them trees down for that new housing complex. Have you guys studied at all that any kind of impact that has had on the odor? Because I mean, I assume the way trees work is they pull in that
Filter.
oxygen and you know, not only that, but the amount of wind now that from that big open field blowing towards ACOA, which is blowing towards, you know, it's blowing east, I guess, towards Absecon is going to help that blow the smell from ACOA even greater. I don't know if you guys have done any studies on that.
So, I mean, I don't know, I can say this, certainly doesn't help,
Of course
right?
not.
I mean, we're talking hundreds of acres of trees that are being clear cut. So it doesn't help whether there's a landfill next to it or there's the parkway next to it, right? I mean, it's still filtering emissions from the thousands of cars and trucks that go through there that no longer happens anymore. The impact of the wind, I mean, again, it really depends on, you know, you already get influences from wind. So did it exacerbate the issue? It'd be really hard to say. I mean, it'd be hard to study too, because there's no baseline of say, hey, this is what it was before and this is what it is after. But I can definitively say it didn't help. Wasn't the cause though. You know, it wasn't the cause of the challenges we faced in the winter. You know, because obviously we've seen a significant improvement now. Trees haven't been put back up. You know, so again, does it help? Absolutely not. You know, it doesn't help the situation, but is it the root cause? I'd be really hard pressed to say that, and it'd be really difficult to, I think, try to find from a scientific point of view any kind of study when you don't have the baseline, you know, to compare this is what it looked like before, this is what it looked like afterwards.
Okay. And the other thing, I think from the last time you did a presentation here, I'm not sure whether that new development is going to be city water or wells.
Mm-hmm.
And you had mentioned, and maybe you can just let the public know and the public that's listening, as far as how you have that capped underground, so there's not a plume that is going from ACOA contaminating groundwater in, you know, in that area, immediate area, especially being not too far from there is the reservoir for Atlantic City's water supply.
Sure. So two things. It's city water that's there, and just about everything over there is city water. Not because of the ACOA, but because of Price's Pit. Superfund site, one of the most toxic sites in the nation, is just across the street. So there is a plume there. And actually, our site was Price's Pit 2 or 3. There's three pits when it comes to Price's Pit. Ours was also contaminated prior to getting there. We had to do a certain amount of cleanup before we could even put the landfill there. But that's the beauty of New Jersey and solid waste regulation. Again, this is why there's so much regulation and so much control over solid waste, is because of those types of things, Commissioner Ballas. Like, you know, if it was the Wild West like it was in the 60s, 70s, 80s, even in the early 90s, we talked about 46 unlined landfills in Atlantic County, not the state, in Atlantic County. Emerald Septic site over in Galloway, another Superfund site, they're still cleaning it up. So the ACOA system is what was implemented in the early 80s, and it's the system that has protected all the residents. So there's a double liner system with backups, clay liners, bentonite mats, and then there's regulations on how much liquid is allowed to be in there at a certain time. We're treating all the liquid that's being in contact with the trash. There's monitoring wells around the entire landfill that gets monitored on a quarterly basis, monthly basis, stormwater basins. And then we have 3 Jeopardy's permits, we have a solid waste permit, we have a Title V. It sounds like a lot because it is, and it's there for good reason, because we don't want another Price's Pit. We don't want cancer clusters. So the water over there is contaminated. I don't believe they're actually pulling off the reservoir for the drinking water, though. I think they're using that to counterbalance some of the wells that they have over there. But that's surface water, that's not groundwater. So again, it's a little bit different because they don't really have the same impact when you're talking about surface water versus groundwater, but it's city water. So there's already a lot of contamination over there. Not that we're adding to it, but again, we're cleaning up that's there. So. And then one last thing, I just want to make the public service announcement because Commissioner Bertino had reminded me that all of our updates on our site since last October, probably on a weekly basis, are on our site. Construction activity, anything that could potentially increase the chances of off-site odors. We'll probably be sending an email out to our email database on the construction activity, because again, that could elevate the chances of something coming off-site as we're improving certain things. Again, we're digging in trash. We sent one out in the spring. We're trying to, again, be as proactive and communicative as much as with the residents as possible, but that is a really good resource for all the activities that are happening there. If we have a small pump failure, it's not something to sound the alarm bells off, but we want to make sure that we're notifying people, or at least getting that information out there. So if there says, what happened, or is there something there? And then we're also getting blamed for everything. So every odor, every sewer leak. There was a sewer leak in Pleasantville a week and a half ago, and Commissioner Kern had reached out, hey, is this ACUA? We're the first one on Facebook. We have people on Facebook that love to stir the pot. They have nothing better to do with their lives besides stir the pot. So they post on it, and ACUA doesn't have any infrastructure in that. The same day, we got a call from Atlantic City. We don't have any infrastructure in Atlantic City at all. It comes right to our plant. So we become the easy scapegoat for a lot of the blame. So our goal is really just to be over the top with everything that we could possibly be when it comes to whether it's a sewer leak or an odor complaint. So anything I can do to help you guys out with that, please let me know, and I'll continue to keep feeding you with information and updates.
Thank you.
All right?
Thank you, Matt.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to ask now, since we have one of our favorite judges out here, Samson, if we can take resolution, bring up resolution 503. I can have a motion to bring that up.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Gatto, second by Commissioner Grizzly. Any comments from the commissioners? Okay, resolution 503.
Appointment of Erin Lichtwolner, EDS, to the Atlantic County Criminal Justice Advisory Board for a term to expire on April 1st, 2025.
Hi, let me just start. My name is Mark Sanson. I'm the chairman of the Atlantic County Criminal Justice Advisory Board. For some reason, we've been getting a run on members now. So we got a call from Erin Lichtwolner, who's here with me, who I have known my entire life. I haven't seen her in many, many moons, but we kind of intersected at various points in our lives. Called, and she had a different name when I knew her, and she wants to join the Atlantic County Criminal Justice Advisory Board. And then she gave me a resume, and I was blown away that she wanted to do that. So I'd just like to introduce you to Erin, and Erin, just tell them who you are and why you want to do this.
Good evening, or good afternoon. Thank you so much for having me. About 2 years ago, I would have never thought that this would be something that I would be stepping into, but I'm currently working at Atlantic County Special Services as a Director of Instructions Programs and Services. And one of the projects that I've been lucky enough to jump into is training our local law enforcement on recognition and response for people with mental health needs, disabilities, autism. I was in Atlantic City today. We're doing all of their in-services over the next couple weeks. We've taught in many different municipalities, and it just has become an interest and a passion, I think a need to open up some of people's perspectives with our criminal justice system and how we can help the members of our community. So I'm grateful to be here.
So thank you for being here, Erin. I also heard from our prosecutor today that you may be wanting to come back and talk about some of these programs, and he has something he wants to talk about as well. So we'll, Tara will reach out and set up some time for you to get here, and thank you for doing that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have any other comments? Judge?
No, I have nothing to say. She's really qualified. We're also going to be coming back to you very soon on the Consolidated Municipal Court to make that report. And, I've gotten someplace in terms of getting a lot of data, so we'll be talking about that. Our next meeting in October will probably come to you before the end of the year to discuss that.
Good. Thank you, Judge. It's great work. Good work.
Thank you.
Any commissioners any comments from the commissioners? Seeing, hearing none. Anything from the public? Okay, we'll have a roll call.
Ballas?
Yes.
Bertino?
Yes.
Burns?
Yes.
Days?
Yes.
Gatto?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Grizzly?
Yes.
Kern?
Yes, motion carries. That
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you very much.
She's very good. I'm really happy we have her. And what an interesting presentation that was before when he started. Oh no, but it was actually.
It is.
I guess it was actually good.
keep coming back, you keep learning a little bit more.
Yeah, right, I learned.
Right.
Everybody's interested.
No, I learned a lot.
Thank you very much, everybody. Jerry, stay here.
Michael, thank you.
What?
We'll take your thing.
I stole it?
Yes.
Oh, I stole it instead. I'm sorry. Excuse me. Forgive me. No, no, it's okay. I'm not collecting. Thank you very much, everybody. Take care.
Thank you. Okay, that brings us to resolution 478.
Grant application and acceptance for the New Jersey Juvenile Justice Commission for the State Community Partnership and Family Court Grant, amount not to exceed $654,836.
Moved.
Moved by Commissioner Burns, seconded by Commissioner Gatto. Any commissioner comments? Seeing, hearing none, anything from the public? Okay, we'll have roll call.
Ballas?
Yes.
Patino?
Yes.
Burns?
Yes.
Days?
Yes.
Gatto?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Risley?
Yes.
Kern?
Yes, motion carries. Resolution 479.
Grant application and acceptance from the New Jersey Juvenile Justice Commission for the Atlantic County Youth Services Commission Home Electronic Detention System Case Management Program, amount not to exceed $120,000.
Moved by Commissioner Gatto, seconded by Commissioner Ballas. Any commissioner comments? Seeing, hearing none, anything from the public? Okay, we'll have roll call.
Ballas?
Yes.
Patino?
Yes.
Burns?
Yes.
Days?
Yes.
Gatto?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Risley?
Yes.
Kern?
Yes, motion carries. Resolution 480.
Grant application and acceptance from the State of New Jersey Division of Mental Health and Addiction Services for the Medication Assisted Treatment Grant, amount not to exceed $603,984.
Moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Burns, seconded by Commissioner Gatto. Any commissioner comments? Seeing, hearing none, anything from the public? Okay, we'll have roll call.
Ballas?
Yes.
Martino?
Yes.
Burns?
Yes.
Days?
Yes.
Gatto?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Risley?
Yes.
Kern?
Yes, motion carries. Resolution 481.
Grant application and acceptance from the New Jersey Department of State Division of Elections for the Help America Vote Act 2024 Physical Security Remediation Grant, amount not to exceed $1,950.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Risley, seconded by Commissioner Gatto. Any commissioner comments? Seeing, hearing none, anything from the public? Okay, we'll have roll call.
Ballas?
Yes.
Martino?
Yes.
Burns?
Yes.
Days?
Yes.
Gatto?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Risley?
Yes.
Kern?
Yes, motion carries. Resolution 483.
482.
482.
Amending Resolution Number 175, adopted on April 16, 2024, a grant from the New Jersey Transit Corporation through the Coronavirus Response and Relief Supplemental Appropriation Act and American Rescue Plan Act to correct the total amount for the 2022 Section 5310 grant funding, net decrease $2.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Gatto, seconded by Commissioner Days. Any commissioner comments? Seeing, hearing, seeing, hearing none, anything from the public? Okay, we'll have roll call.
Ballas?
Yes.
Martino?
Yes.
Burns?
Yes.
Days?
Yes.
Gatto?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Risley?
Yes.
Kern?
Yes, motion carries. Now we'll have resolution 483.
Grant application and acceptance from the State of New Jersey through the Local Transportation Project to allow the Atlantic County Transportation Unit to continue to provide the 5440 Community Shuttle in the western part of Atlantic County and the English Creek Tilton Road Community Shuttle, known as the Cross County Connector, amount not to exceed $450,000.
Moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Gatto, seconded by Commissioner Days. Any commissioner comments?
Yeah, Madam Chair, I just want to extend thanks to, I think, our state representatives. As Jerry mentioned, I think this is the one, Jerry, but this wasn't originally in the state budget to fund, and our representatives did advocate for this funding to continue. It is a critical piece of part of our transportation plan throughout the county, and it was really flourishing pre-COVID. Obviously took a hit, but we are seeing it grow back. So just glad to see those funds continue. Again, want to thank our state representatives for their advocacy.
Any other commissioner comments? Anything from the public? Okay, we'll have roll call.
Ballas?
Yes.
Martino?
Yes.
Burns?
Yes.
Days?
Yes.
Gatto?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Risley?
Yes.
Kern?
Yes, motion carries. Resolution 484.
Amending Resolution Number 509, adopted on September 10, 2019, a competitive contract with Partners Pharmacy for the provision of pharmaceutical services for residents of Meadowview Nursing and Rehabilitation Center to extend the term date, net increase $33,233.33.
Moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Burns, seconded by Commissioner Gatto. Any commissioner comments? Seeing, hearing none, anything from the public? Okay, we'll have roll call.
Ballas?
Yes.
Bertino?
Yes.
Burns?
Yes.
Days?
Yes.
Gatto?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Risley?
Yes.
Kern?
Yes, motion carries. Resolution 485.
Competitive contract with Dr. Christopher J. Lucosti, D.O. to serve as Medical Director of Meadowview Nursing and Rehabilitation Center, amount not to exceed $38,000.
Moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Burns, seconded by Commissioner Risley. Any commissioner comments? Seeing, hearing none, anything from the public? Here, a roll call.
Ballas?
Yes.
Bertino?
Yes.
Burns?
Yes.
Days?
Yes.
Gatto?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Risley?
Yes.
Kern?
Yes, motion carries. Resolution 486.
Bid contract with Health Mats Company for floor mat rental and cleaning services, amount not to exceed $78,107.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Gatto, seconded by Commissioner Ballas. Any commissioner comments? Seeing, hearing none, anything from the public? You have a roll call.
Ballas?
Yes.
Bertino?
Yes.
Burns?
Yes.
Days?
Yes.
Gatto?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Risley?
Yes.
Kern?
Yes, motion carries. Resolution 487.
Bid contract with South State Incorporated for the Estelle Manor Park main entrance pavement improvements, amount not to exceed $709,500.
Moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Gatto, seconded by Commissioner Risley. Any commissioner comments? I just want to say how nice everything is looking out there. It
Beautiful.
really, really is. You're doing a great job out there.
And this is the final piece out there.
This is it. Nice job. Nice
It's
job.
never final.
Well,
Final for now.
Well, of the stage.
Final for now.
Of this phase or whatever. Any comments from the public? Seeing, hearing none, we'll have a roll call.
Ballas?
Yes.
Bertino?
Yes.
Burns?
Yes.
Days?
Yes.
Gatto?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Risley?
Yes.
Kern?
Yes, motion carries. Resolution 488.
Bid contract with Atlantic Salt Incorporated to furnish and deliver rock salt to participating members of the Atlantic County Cooperative, amount not to exceed $609,380.
Moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Gatto, seconded by Commissioner Risley. Any commissioner comments?
Madam Chair.
Commissioner Gatto.
Through you to Jerry, did we get the weather forecast yet, or what?
Mr. Petrarca will not give it to me. He will not give it to me.
All right.
Hopefully they won't use a towel or that.
Some kids that want to slow down.
Gets him a day off of school or whatever, so. Any other commissioner comments? Anything from the public? You have a roll call.
Ballas?
Yes.
Bertino?
Yes.
Burns?
Yes.
Days?
Yes.
Gatto?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Risley?
Yes.
Kern?
Yes, motion carries. Resolution 489.
Bid contract with Providence Auto Group for preventative maintenance on county vehicles, amount not to exceed $37,200.
Moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Gatto, seconded by Commissioner Risley. Any commissioner comments? Seeing, hearing none, anything from the public? You will have a roll call.
Ballas?
Yes.
Bertino?
Yes.
Burns?
Yes.
Days?
Yes.
Gatto?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Risley?
Yes.
Kern?
Yes, motion carries. Resolution 490.
Change order number 2, contract with Arrowac Paving Company Incorporated for 2022 on-call maintenance resurfacing, net increase $46,177.94.
Moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Gatto, seconded by Commissioner Burns. Any commissioner comments? Seeing, hearing none, anything from the public? You'll have a roll call.
Ballas?
Yes.
Bertino?
Yes.
Burns?
Yes.
Days?
Yes.
Gatto?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Risley?
Yes.
Kern?
Yes, motion carries. Brings us to Resolution 491.
Change order number 1, a contract with South State Incorporated for the Lake Lenape Dam spillway in Hamilton Township to change the type of materials only, no additional cost.
Moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Gatto, seconded by Commissioner Kern. Commissioner Burns. Any commissioner comments? Seeing, hearing none, anything from the public? Any roll call?
Ballas?
Yes.
Bertino?
Yes.
Burns?
Yes.
Days?
Yes.
Gatto?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Risley?
Yes.
Kern?
Yes, motion carries. Resolution 492, please.
Emergency contract with Z Radar Limited Liability Company doing business as Reimbursement Reimagined for the provision of MDS support services for Meadowview Nursing and Rehabilitation Center, amount not to exceed $60,000.
Moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Burns, seconded by Commissioner Gatto. Any commissioner comments?
Yeah, Madam Chair, I think it's important to highlight, this is the company we had brought in, or this is a part of the research we had done, thanks to, I think Commissioner Risley found the gentleman who came in and did the kind of research into how could we optimize our operation at Meadowview. And I just want to commend county administration. I mean, you took on that task, you're continuing that path, right, of doing what we can as fast as we can now to optimize the operation, while also exploring the other, opportunities and things that we've been talking about. And this is just another piece of the recommendations that came out of the findings. So we're continuing to kind of chip away at those findings. And I want to say, great work keeping that good path going while and not letting a problem fester while we're, looking for other things. So I think it's important to highlight that.
Yeah, thank you, Commissioner Gatto. I agree with you. It's very nice we're staying on top of it and keeping this moving forward. So thank you for those comments. Any other commissioner comments? Seeing, hearing none, anything from the public? Okay, we'll have roll call.
Palace? Bertino?
Yes.
Burns?
Yes.
Days?
Yes.
Gatto?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Risley?
Yes.
Kern?
Yes, motion carries. Resolution 493, please.
EUS contract with Insurance Agencies Incorporated to purchase a treasurer's bond amount not to exceed $1,166.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Gatto, seconded by Commissioner Risley. Any commissioner comments? Seeing, hearing none, anything from the public? Okay, we'll have roll call.
Palace?
Yes.
Bertino?
Yes.
Burns?
Yes.
Days?
Yes.
Gatto?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Risley?
Yes.
Kern?
Yes, motion carries. Resolution 494, please.
Alternate method contract with Atlantic Care John Brooks Recovery Center for the Operation Helping Hands program, amount not to exceed $75,000.
Moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Burns, seconded by Commissioner Gatto. Any commissioner comments? Seeing, hearing none, anything from the public? Have roll call.
Palace?
Yes.
Bertino?
Yes.
Burns?
Yes.
Days?
Yes.
Gatto?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Risley?
Yes.
Kern?
Yes, motion carries. Resolution 495.
Acceptance of deeds easements from various grantors in accordance with Atlantic County planning standards.
Moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Day, seconded by Commissioner Gatto. Any commissioner comments? Seeing, hearing none, anything from the public? Okay, we'll have roll call.
Palace?
Yes.
Bertino?
Yes.
Burns?
Yes.
Days?
Yes.
Gatto?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Risley?
Yes.
Kern?
Yes, motion carries. Brings us to Resolution 504.
496.
496, am I missing? Sorry, missed the whole page here.
Amending Resolution Number 225 adopted on May 7, 2024, in agreement with Atlantic City Electric Company and the Atlantic County Workforce Development Board to support workforce development initiatives to increase the stipend amount per participant for qualified candidates, no additional cost.
Moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Burns, seconded by Commissioner Gatto. Any commissioner comments? Seeing, hearing none, anything from the public? You'll have a roll call.
Palace?
Yes.
Bertino?
Yes.
Burns?
Yes.
Days?
Yes.
Gatto?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Risley?
Yes.
Kern?
Yes, motion carries. I'll entertain a motion to combine and adopt Resolution Number 497 to 500, Chapter 159.
Moved.
501.
No, we have to do that one now.
Okay. Second.
Moved by Commissioner Bell, seconded by Commissioner Gatto. Any commissioner comments? Seeing, hearing none, comments from the public? Okay, we'll have a roll call.
Palace?
Yes.
Bertino?
Yes.
Burns?
Yes.
Days?
Yes.
Gatto?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Risley?
Yes.
Kern?
Yes, motion carries. Resolution 501.
State of New Jersey Department of Community Affairs, Brigantine Promenade refurbishment 2024 to 2026 in the amount of $1,185,837.50 with a county cash match of $62,412.50.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Gatto, seconded by Commissioner Days. Any commissioner comments?
Madam Chair?
Commissioner
Yeah,
Bell?
can we have Jerry or the engineer just give us a overview or give the public an overview of what is going to take place on this promenade refurbish?
Doug, you want to,
There you go.
Doug, do you want to do that? I mean,
Sure.
okay, great.
So we are looking at just doing some refurbishment to the promenade and Brigantine. We have a consultant right now working on the plans. They're looking at, making some repairs to any damaged concrete, any of the damaged vinyl sheeting on the structure, as well as there's some, some cap material, and I think we're looking at, did I say lighting, and the handicap ramps. And so I think the access to the beaches as well. So I know the consultant is partially done their plans. We're hoping to get final plans sometime later this month so that we can go out to bid.
You want to put all new railings, lighting, he mentioned the lighting.
Yes.
It's like an overhaul of the entire, and there was some structural damage, that you heard him talk about, so.
So, if we're just coming up with a plan, how do we apply for this almost 1.2 million, almost 1.3 million, if we don't know what we're actually doing?
Well, he just gave me, we knew the plan, we knew what Brigantine asked us to do, that's what they gave us. I mean, you heard Doug talk about, he's talking about more particular items. They wanted all the railings, all of the handicap ramps.
Right,
And there other skirting that he was talking about, and what happened then was, we had to then it was put in writing that they wanted this. Then our engineers, the engineer that's working for, I think it's Remington Vernick, they went ahead and actually then looked at all of those issues and then put that in writing, and the grant's, about 100 pages long. Now they're actually doing what he's talking about is the actual specifications to go out and bid it. That's the distinction. Doug is giving you more of the, if I had answered that question, I'd have just given you this, and this. He's giving you all the technical issues, that's why he asked him to do that. So what I was saying to you is the basics. The ramps, the railings, and he's talking about some of the structural things that they found now that they've actually done the review. The grant had to be in a certain time frame, and they funded it based on those, based on the request from Brigantine to us, and that the things that I'm talking about. Right?
So we're pretty confident that this project will be able, this funding will be able to cover this project?
Oh, yes, absolutely, yes,
Okay.
right, yeah.
All right. Perfect.
Thank you. Any other commissioner comments? Anything from the public? Okay, we'll have roll call.
Ballas?
Yes.
Martino?
Yes.
Burns?
Yes.
Hayes?
Yes.
Gatto?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Risley?
Yes.
Kern?
Yes, motion carries. Resolution 502, please.
Grant application and acceptance through the National Telecommunications and Information Administration, United States Department of Commerce, for the Digital Equity Competitive Grant Program, funded amount $5,078,500, county cash match $1,531,500, county in-kind match $645,000.
Moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Burns, second by Commissioner Gatto. Jerry, can you tell us a little bit about this?
Sure, I have our IT director on, Mr. Rue.
Okay.
So we met with Triad, that's our grant writer, and they went through a series of things with us. Brian Rue is our IT director. He had some great ideas for MetaView. It probably equaled about $1 million. The grant itself, they're funding at $5 million levels. And so we went through with Triad the variety of populations they'd like you to serve. So I asked Brian, what do you think? So we went through a series of issues with county government. And so let Brian explain, what he came up with. Brian.
Brian? Brian, are you on?
Yeah.
He's got his hand raised.
Yeah, his hand right here.
I unmuted him and he disappeared.
Brian, are you unmuted?
He's got the same problem I have.
Yeah, he was on here, he's been unmuted. Okay. He can speak. He's muted on his end.
Brian, you might be muted on your end.
Brian, you need an IT guy?
Can you hear me now?
We can.
You have the
All
floor.
right, great. I was just seeing if everybody was there, so testing it. This is a rather large grant application impacting many areas. The Justice Facility wireless infrastructure, digital literacy lab with a telehealth setup, the MetaView nursing home, as Jerry mentioned, with smart TVs in each bed, voice over IP phones, high-speed internet, wireless infrastructure throughout the facility, computer literacy lab, and telehealth ability at the bed. This would also help service the Veterans Office, intergenerational services, nutritional sites, all with having digital literacy labs and long-term loader computers and access. And then it would help with the transportation buses, putting Wi-Fi on the transportation buses, which will really help in the rural areas that are traveled where there's no cell service or any other access.
Great opportunity.
Awesome.
Great opportunity.
Amazing.
Oh, yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Jerry, did you have anything that you wanted to add?
No,
Yeah.
it's a
Yeah.
good plan. Bonnie's hitting me in the head because it's 1.5 million, but Brian thinks we would do this over a period of time, so we wouldn't have to come up with all the money immediately. I mean, Bonnie will have to, work with us on this, but, so it'll take a while to get all of the, if we get funded, obviously, it's a federal grant, so we have to be funded first. But I think it's a really good opportunity for county government
It's
and some of the
great
offices that we
opportunity.
have.
Great, thank you.
Bonnie, just keep remembering the 5 million savings. Just keep that in mind.
Okay,
Any commissioner comments? Any comments from the public? Okay, we will have a roll.
Ballas?
Yes.
Cortino?
Yes.
Burns?
Yes.
Staes?
Yes.
Gatto?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Risley?
Yes.
Kern?
Yes, motion carries. Brings us to 504, please.
Authorizing consent for a roadway solicitation event by the Absecon VFW, Post 9462, at the intersection of Mill Road, County Route 651, and New Jersey Avenue, County Route 601, in the city of Absecon on Saturday, November 9, 2024, and Sunday, November 10, 2024, from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Second?
Moved by Commissioner Gatto, seconded by Commissioner Days. Any commissioner comments? Seeing, hearing none. Anything from the public? Okay, we will have a roll call.
Ballas?
Yes.
Cortino?
Yes.
Burns?
Yes.
Staes?
Yes.
Gatto?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Risley?
Yes.
Kern?
Yes, motion carries. Resolution 505.
Resolution to have the Commissioner of the New Jersey Department of Transportation review accident-prone roadways, sponsor Ernest E. Corsi.
Move.
Second?
Moved by Commissioner Gatto, seconded by Commissioner Days. Hopefully, Commissioner Corsi is the one.
No, Madam Chair, I spoke with
Okay, thank you.
Commissioner Corsi today and offered to kind of be a co-sponsor on this as well. He wasn't sure if he would be able to get on in time, but I think everybody knows he brought this up at a prior meeting recently about the issues in the West Atlantic City corridor of Route 322 and 40. It's state-owned. We were able to pull together, actually I should say the county was able to pull together, thank you, the statistics around some of the accident data, which is a similar approach we took on Route 30 in Cologne. And I do appreciate Commissioner Corsi also including Route 30 in Cologne being incorporated into this resolution for that visit. I think we have a number of areas that really need some attention. This one in West Atlantic City being the focus of this resolution. But certainly if we can get the commissioner down here, show them in person, what's happening, the dangers that it poses in each of these locations, and really try to get, pedal on the gas to get some activity happening in West Atlantic City, and also bring the Balloon and Route 30 project to a close. I think we're all tired of staring at the new lights just sitting there and not working yet. So, so that's, I think, all the highlights from Commissioner Corsi's perspective.
Something tells me you're gonna stay on top of this. But thank you very much, for reporting that. Any other commissioner comments? Anything from the public? Okay, we'll have a roll call.
Alice?
Yes.
Bertino?
Yes.
Burns?
Yes.
Days?
Yes.
Gatto?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Grizzly?
Yes.
Kern?
Yes, motion carries. At this time, I'll entertain a motion to add Resolution 507 to the agenda.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Gatto, second by Commissioner Ballas. Any commissioner comments? Comments from the public?
You just need to vote to add it.
Yeah, I think it's just
Okay.
This is just
And then, and we'll have a
all
roll
in favor
call.
to add, yeah.
All in favor of that?
Aye.
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 Okay, Resolution 507.
Resolution to amend the board's public meeting schedule to cancel the meeting on October 1st, 2024.
Moved by Commissioner Gatto, second by Commissioner Ballas. Any commissioner comments? Being hearing none, anything from the public? Okay, we'll have a roll call.
Ballas?
Yes.
Bertino?
Yes.
Burns?
Yes.
Days?
Yes.
Gatto?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Grizzly?
Yes.
Kern?
Yes, motion carries. Okay, we've received, if anyone has received copies of written communications and petitions and would like to share at this time.
Madam Chair, two ways. Jerry, I've received a couple of emails recently about the guardrail being down on Mossville Road and Smith Road, the dangerous curves there between Old War Road and Pinckney Road. I think there are three barrels that have been out there for quite a while. And I know we approved the contract to replace the guardrails throughout. I think that was by state mandate or something. I just didn't know if there was already a schedule for this, and if so, if this could be, placed closer to the top, because that's a dangerous curve, and especially at night with the barrels there, I've seen people that can't, for whatever reason, maintain their lane anyway as it is,
Right.
and other people swerving around the barrels. So I just want to bring attention to that before. Hopefully nothing happens, but just.
Want to see if Doug, could you hear that location?
Yeah, I know, we just sent over, the bid specs for the new guide rail contract. The old one has expired. So we are getting ready to bid that contract, and then we'll be able to take care of some of this type of work.
Okay, I know the barrels are out there for a reason, but the guest concern is that they're retreating into the road right on the curve there, and it's a dangerous situation potentially.
While we have a,
Take a look at it.
we have Greg, no, I was just gonna say, while we have Greg, you guys talk every day anyway, we have Greg go out there and look at that, okay? We'll have that conversation.
Yeah, it's right across from the steel plate where the work is being done to replace the levee there.
Yeah.
It's on the opposite side of the road.
Can they put a cement barricade there, temporary, like they did, Mays Landing around the golf course?
Yeah, it's pretty narrow there, I don't know.
That would really stop people from going.
They're thinner than the barrels.
Yeah.
Thank
I'll
you.
let you know, I'll let you know
All
tomorrow.
right, thank you.
Any other communications from the commissioners? Okay, any reports of special committees of the board? Okay, any unfinished business?
Madam Chair.
Mr. Bell?
Yeah, if we could just get an update from Doug on the bridge replacement in Eckerd Township. I seen last week that they paved the roadway, so it leads me to believe that hopefully they're ahead of schedule and the road should be opening soon, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, we're very close. I know this week they were working on the guide rail, and I mean there's probably a couple thousand feet of guardrail at that structure. They have to do the striping, the raised pavement markers, and I know they have to do some landscape items. We're looking at trying to have a final inspection either the end of this week or sometime next week. And after that meeting, we should have a good idea if there's any punch list items that would require the road to continue to be closed. If not, we would be looking at trying to get the road open as soon as possible.
Okay, good.
We are well ahead of schedule right now. I think the road wasn't supposed to open until February, so
Correct.
we're very close.
Correct. But your landscaping and that kind of stuff, can that be done with the road open? Or
It
ju- or
can,
just closed
it's
during-
a little more dangerous. to
Or
the-
closed
to
during the
work
day when
that-
they do the work and open at night?
Yeah. We could look at that. I have to, right now, we also are dealing with some weather, so I'm not sure if the weather's gonna delay us a bit, because, obviously, we can't have a wet road when we stripe, so. It should be very soon, though.
Right. Okay, appreciate it.
We can't talk about hurricanes, Commissioner Gatto, but we can talk about this supposed to rain the rest of the week. You all
Yeah. At least Wednesday anyway.
Any other unfinished business? Any new business? See here, anyone attending in person that would like to speak now at public comment, please come to the podium, speak into the microphone, state your name and the town you reside. If you're attending virtually and would like to make a public comment, please raise your hand. I will call upon your name and a request to unmute will be sent. Again, state your name and the town you reside. You will be provided up to 3 minutes to speak. Okay, any comments for the good of the order? I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Thank you, everyone, for